Hello, hello, hello. My name is Anicia Brala, and welcome to my channel. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I had an appointment at the DMV, and I had to get a new ID because y'all, I've been walking around with my passport like a tourist for the past year. It's gonna change. Hot mess. I know, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so went to the DMV, took a picture. Now it was a older black woman at the DMV who took my picture. She had red glasses. She low key had like a resting bitch face. I loved her. I lived for her. After I took my picture, she told me it was gorgeous. And you know what? That gave me so much faith. I left out of that DMV knowing I ate that. Got my picture a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks later, let me tell you something. She did not lie. Okay? Gobbled it up. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I posted it on Instagram. And I had never had so many views and likes and responses to a story that I've ever posted on Instagram. I asked if y'all wanted the makeup tutorial, and baby, y'all ate it up, so here it is. So, today we're getting into the makeup that I did to achieve this flawless ass ID photo. Like, come on. So, you already know, sit back, relax, and let's do some makeup, shall we? Okay, so to start, Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Now, to be honest, this is a relatively, very easy beat. I was just super focused because I had to commute to the DMV. I needed to make sure that my base stayed matte enough throughout the journey to the DMV, but also I wanted it to be skin-like enough to where it wasn't too matte, if that makes sense. Now that's done, I am going to start with color correcting. Crucial. I've gotten to the point now where I pretty much do not do a beat without color correcting first. It's that important. But I don't do too much. Just enough so that once I do my concealer, it's not too cool, you know? That's not really the words I'm looking for. Cool, it's not. Either way, it just makes everything look more flawless. Like, I really just don't know how to explain it. It just happens. Oh, by the way, my nails. Okay, so now that I've done that, I used my Lashify lashes. I used two 16s and then two 14s and then two 12s. So, did that. I'm prepped on that. I'm going to wipe my eyebrows off because we're going to start with the brows. When I took my ID picture, my brows were fresh off of an eyebrow lamination, so that did help. Okay? So I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Brow Lift. I also desperately need to pluck my eyebrows. But now's not the time for that. Okay, now while that dries a bit, I'm going to do a light tip on my brow where it's microbladed with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in shade Ebony. Not too dark, just kind of want to define the tail a bit. We'll handle those again in a minute. Okay, so I started this with my MAC Studio Fix 24-hour concealer. This is shade NC45. This is the first of the two because I do use two concealers for this, but y'all need it. Okay, I'm going to take my concealer brush from Hourglass. I'm going to spray it with my Milani Make It Dewy. I'm going to start blending this out. Start with my outside for my concealer because the sponge is back, okay? The sponge is back. I'm absolutely combining my brushes and my sponges again. I'm not completely abandoning the brushes. More of a hybrid live-work situation. But the sponge is absolutely back. I'm going to save my sponge for near my eye. And I am taking my highlight into this little area right here. I feel like that's important. Okay, so now I'm going to take my sponge. I absolutely need to clean my sponge. I need to clean my brushes, so I don't want to hear it. I know it's gross, but get over it. It's my face, not yours. Okay, so I'm going to go with my sponge. Okay. So now on the inside of my lid, I'm going to take my Milani Conceal and Perfect in shade 140. Now I'm going to let that sit for a minute. So the foundation that I used for this is this Tarte BB Tinted Primer. I guess it's a primer, child. I don't know. I use it as foundation, so that's what it is. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, but we move. I take my Hourglass foundation brush with my Milani Make It Dewy. Now I guess I'm okay with using this tinted primer. I thought it was just a BB cream, but I guess it's a tinted primer. If you need or want to cover up blemishes, I say go for something more full coverage, like the Born This Way line, or the House Labs foundation is really good. It's one of my faves. So if you need more coverage, keep that in mind. This BB primer, I guess that's what it's calling itself, is not that does not have that much coverage. So keep that in mind. But it is kind of matte. Let's see what this says. Oil-free and pore minimizing. I can see that. It is kind of matte, but not too bad. I don't know much about this product. I picked it up a very long time ago in Target. Like, I think this is like a year or two old. Like, it's still like it's old. But it's one of them days. Yeah. I started using it a few days ago, and I've just been loving the results from it. So that down a little bit. So now I've got that out the way. I am solely going in with my sponge now to tackle this. More Milani Make It Dewy on the sponge. And blend. Okay. She's flawless, okay? Now, I'm going to take my Hourglass blush in shade Glassy Watermelon. I've been obsessed with this blush. I feel like I've used it every day since I got it. That's my blush placement. In case anyone was wondering, I go right on my cheekbones. See? Right there. Right on my cheekbones. I feel like placement for me is important because I'm going to my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer Brush to blend this out. Because I don't necessarily like putting foundation closer to the balls of my cheeks. I kind of like it to be like this middle area of my cheeks and then diffuse it out. I feel like when I do that, it just distributes the best to me. see kind of like a little patch. I just want to go back in under my eye with my concealer, or what's left on my brush, or my sponge rather, and just really pat that in. Do not want creases. Done. Okay, now that that's in there, I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray. And I want this to completely dry before we put any powder on it. I'm going to go back to my brows because I completely forgot I wasn't done with them. Which, now that I think about it, is very on par with the day I took this photo. So, this is going to be very, very on brand and accurate to the day. Okay, now I'm going to take my little spatula thing. The spatula I use is actually from the e.l.f. Brow Lift Applicator. I just accidentally broke the other side, so we move. I have enough brow spoolies that it didn't really matter. So, for this day, I used my Melt Cosmetics She's Alive setting powder. Really, really love this. It really is one of my favorites. I take my Dion Cosmetics Prism Puff, because no matter the powder, the puff is getting used, okay? Shout out to Dion Cosmetics. Summer, you did your thing. Okay. Pat the hand. I love that 2 of my 3 favorite setting powders are made by... My 3rd favorite is Laura Mercier, and I know it's Laura Mercier, but I haven't done enough research. So I don't know if Laura is like... if it was like her brand, or if a man just named it Laura after some woman in his family. But and yes, I powdered the inside of my eye. So I had to go to a completely different part of the bay for my ID. So again, this held me down, as you can see in the photo. Okay, yeah, as we can see in this photo, it held me down, okay? It held me down, okay? Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna... that's what I did next. Because I didn't actually do much with this. It's actually a pretty simple base. It's really just making sure placement is proper and I have little things to offset the flash and just the camera quality of the DMV, okay? So for my bottom lids, I'm gonna take my NYX Epic Smoke Liner because I realized from my last ID photo, which I actually really liked, I really did like my last one, but it's not this one. What I noticed is I didn't have any eyeliner on, and it just made things a little wonky. So just a little bit, just to really define the eye. Now, another thing that I did is I'm going to take my NYX Epic Wear Liner and make a small little cat eye on the inside of my eye, because that's how I get it real snatched. Not one that's too dramatic, but just enough to be noticed. You see that? You see the difference? Just enough. And I wanted it to be black because I did want it to be noticeable. I did not want dark brown. No. My features are striking, so I want to represent that with black, not brown. Done. Okay, so now I am going to take a tiny little dash of my bronzer and just go here. Just a little. I'm going to go with a very fluffy brush. So very lightly, and just... okay. Not really noticeable, but kind of just makes me feel good. So now I'm going to add my highlighter. You already know. ColourPop Vanilla Bean. I don't know why I say bean like that when I say this. Vanilla Bean. God, I'm annoying. Okay. You already know the placement where the light is gonna hit. That's where the highlight is going, okay? Done. So now I'm gonna take my one size setting spray. Really need to get another one of these. I'm running low. Okay, this is pretty out, but a lot of you know this is the setting spray. Okay, okay. Now I'm gonna do my bottom lash mascara. I am obsessed with my Benefit, their Real Magnet Lash mascara. It's my ultimate favorite right now. And that's saying a lot because Maybelline has been my mascara for as long as I can remember, but this is just so good. When I say Maybelline, I have cycled through a few, but Maybelline to me has always had the best mascara, bar none. Like it, and I have a few higher end ones. But no, if I'm going for lashes, I'm gonna go either I'm gonna go for Maybelline or this Benefit, their Real Magnet, because this is amazing. I'm using it a lot in the past few months. And it looks good on just lashes alone, top and bottom. You see it coming together, okay? Let's get into the lippy. And I did my signature. We're gonna go in with the NYX lip liner in black. And I rubbed it in a little. I go in a little on the corners, just a smidge. Not as in as I normally do, but enough to where it makes a difference on that camera. And then I'm rubbing, but trying to make sure that as I'm rubbing my lips, the very tops aren't really getting touched, so the line is still prominent and maintained. Okay, I'm going to take my MAC Powder Kiss over the taupe as soon as I find it. Okay, MAC Powder Kiss lip color over the taupe. I just realized as I'm doing my lips and I look down, I never blended the blush on my chin. That's embarrassing. Now, last but not least, you can use any lip gloss. I use MAC lip gloss, super shiny. I kept it on me for the appointment. But to be honest, the lip gloss is so amazing. I actually did not have to reapply before. I did once, and that was it. So I didn't do my dots underneath of my eyes the way I normally do, but I absolutely did my little freckles around my face. That didn't really show up like that on the camera, but they were there. 1 second, let me take my hair out. Okay, done. And that's how you get the perfect DMV ID picture. Okay, okay. I hope you like it. If you do, like, subscribe, comment. You already know. If you don't, keep that to yourself. Okay, okay. And I will see you guys in some days. Bye.